Reasons to learn English. The world is getting smaller and smaller all the time, and in many ways English is one of the reasons for this. English is one of the catalysts for this process. According to visualcapitalist.com, combining both native and non-native speakers of each language, English comes out on top with a whopping 1,132,366,680 speakers. Mandarin has about 16 million fewer than that, and Hindi, in third place, has just over half the total number of speakers as English. But what makes English so appealing to language learners is the fact that people all around the world are learning it. Not just the people in one country or in one continent, as is the case with Chinese and Hindi. In comparison, Spanish, which is a pretty international language, has fewer than half the total number of speakers as English does. So if your goal is to learn to interact with as many people as possible, English is obviously the language for you. Whilst French, and to a lesser extent German, have been the scientific, philosophical and psychological languages of antiquity, English has supplanted them both in all of these areas, not to mention the fact that English is also the largest language on the internet as well, making up over half of all the content online, according to Optimational.com. English is also the language of some of the world's most powerful economies. The US, the UK, Australia, Canada, India, and Singapore are all English-speaking countries with strong and internationally renowned economies. And finally, English is now the language of literature. Of the top 100 best-selling fiction authors, about 70% of them write in English, or wrote in English because some of them are dead. And additionally, most of the great films in human history use English as their original language. And if you're lucky enough to be learning British English, it's also one of the most sophisticated languages, according to a website that I found earlier that I will put in the bio later. So there you are. English, if you don't already know it, makes the most sense to learn. But obviously that does depend on where you're from and where you want to live. I think English will probably make the most sense in general, the majority of the time for most people. So good luck and keep going.